Hi students. So in the integral chapter we were dealing with the integral chapter. So we are moving to the next chapter, next concept, that is integration by parts. So before stepping to integration by parts, let me brief what and all the integration concept we have studied in this chapter. So in the beginning, what we have came across the integration, we are doing the integration for the known formulas. So we knew some of the formulas through the differentiation. To that known formulas we used to do the integration. Then second, we started with the integration through the substitution method, where we used to, in the given question itself, if there is a function f of x and its derivative, if it is there in a one single given function itself, means we are dealing with the substitution method, or we used to substitute some x has equal to something, so that upon substitution we used to get the integral very easily. So then we came across the integration by substitution. Then next we came across the integration of through the trigonometric identity. Suppose if we substitute a variable through any trigonometric identities, means we used to get simplified to any trigonometric known identities and we used to get the integral. Then next we came across, after using the trigonometric identities, integration of some particular type of function. When it comes to some particular type of function, we came across 10 different particular type of function, where we used to integrate all those 10 types of in different way, the 10 types of particular function. Then we came across which one? Integration by partial fraction. So when it comes to integration by partial fraction, when we used to integrate through the partial fraction, when there is a proper fraction, if there is a proper fraction or a proper rational function, means at that time we used to do a partial fraction, so that we are going to what the given proper fraction is partitioned into certain parts, so that the integration of those parts become easier and much and we used to get the integral in very easier way. So these are the things which we have, different types of integrals which we have came across, and different types of integration which we have done yet till now. Then next we are moving to the next method. In the beginning I have said there are three methods of integration. One is integration by substitution, another one is integration by partial fraction, and the third one was integration by parts. So at present we came across substitution and partial fraction. The third method is integration by parts. So today we are going to deal with that, the third method, that is integration by parts. Since it is a method which is an integration by parts, before dealing how we are dealing with the integration by part, I will let you know, if there is a product of any two function, if there is a product of two function, means at that time we are dealing with the integration by parts. So not every time every product is done by the integration by parts, but most of the case, if there is a product of any two functions, means we are dealing with the integration by parts method. Suppose if I ask find the integral of cos x into sin x dx, means you can find the product, I mean the integral of this given function, because through substitution method you can get the integral of this given function. Suppose if I ask find the integral of x sin x dx, or find the integral of x cos x dx. So till now we came across all these types of methods through which we can get the integral through substitution, trigonometric identities, some particular type of function, partial fraction. But if I ask find the integral of x sin x or x cos x, means there is no such method through which, through substitution, we are not at all able to get the integral of this type of function, or through trigonometric identities, or through a particular function or a proper fraction, I mean particular fraction. Partial fraction is also not possible. So when it comes to like this type of product of any two functions, means at that time we are dealing with the method that is integration by parts. Suppose now if I consider two differentiable function. Now I am considering two differentiable functions, say u and v, both are of both the functions is of variable x. Okay, so we know that We know the product rule, that is differentiation d by dx of uv. What is that? First function differentiation of the second plus second function into differentiation of the first. Okay, so this is the product rule which we already knew this one. Suppose if I integrate on both the side, what happens if I integrate on both the side? Integration or in differentiation of uv, we know that integration and differentiation, it will be of any function, it will be equal to that function itself, because integration and differentiation both are reverse process, it get cancels out. So if I integrate on both the side means what happens here, in the left side it becomes u into v is equal to integration u into dv by dx plus integration of v into du by dx. So it is integrated with respect to the variable x, with respect to the variable x. So now what I am doing is I am moving this integration of v into du by dx towards the left hand side. So what I am going to get is integration of u into dv by dx into dx is equal to, this is kept as it is, I am moving this one to the LHS, it becomes uv minus integration of v into du by dx into dx. So we got this one. So completely started with the product rule, then integrated on both the side, and then we got this one. So now what I am doing is I am taking this u as equal to f of x and then dv by dx, this one as equal to g of x. Look, observe here carefully, I am taking this u as equal to f of x and dv by dx is equal to g of x. So what happens in the LHS? Integration of f of x into g of x dx, okay, is equal to u, it is nothing but f of x. The next is v. So to get v, what I should do, if I integrate this one on both the side, I am going to get v is equal to integration of g of x, because integration and differentiation of any variable is that variable itself or that function itself. That is what I have said here. So that only applied here. If I integrate on both the side, we are going to get the value of v which is equal to integral g of x. So in place of v, I am writing integral g of x minus integration as it is. What is this v? That is nothing but integration of g of x into dx, integration of g of x into dx, here also integration of g of x into dx, and du by dx. So u we are having f of x. If I differentiate on both the side, what I am going to get, du by dx is nothing but f dash of x. So it is f dash of x into dx. So you can see here, this integration, it is whole for both the thing. Du by dx is nothing but f dash of x and v is nothing but integral g of x into dx. So what it goes means, if I call this one as first function and this one as a second function, means integration of first function into second function is equal to first function integration of the second function minus this whole integral, it is belonging to both the thing, integration differentiation of the first function into integration of the second function. After differentiating the first function and integrating the second function, what the value you are going to get, multiply that one and then integrate this one, that one. Then what the value you are going to get, integrating again that one, that is here you can see here. So this is the formula to find the product of any two functions. Suppose if they gave any product of two function, means we are using this formula. So clearly when we talk about the integration by parts, means we are talking about the product of any two function. So integral product of any two function. So how it goes, if I say integration of f of x into g of x dx means f of x integral of g of x into dx minus integration of f dash of x into integral of g of x dx into dx. So suppose if I call f of x as first function and g of x as second function, means I have written here verbal how we used to say, that is the integral of the product of two functions. The integral product of two function is equal to first function integration of second function, you can see here, minus integral of a big bracket. Inside the big bracket what we are going to get, differential coefficient of the first function into integral of the second function. So first getting the differential coefficient of the first function and integral of the second function, we used to multiply those things and then we need to integrate that product, and that is what we are going to get. So this is how the formula of integration of part is. So you might feel the problem or the formula is very lengthy, but upon practicing you will feel it how easy it is, and you will memorize this formula upon solving continuously most of the problem based upon the integration by parts, because this formula is going to be used repeatedly, so that you will memorize this formula by solving the problems itself. So before dealing with this formula of integration by part, I asked the question how we used to integrate x into cos x dx. Suppose if we are used to have the formula like this one, means, so I said here we used to consider first function and second function. So among this one, so clearly we cannot use any of the methods, so we are dealing with to get the integral of this one, we are dealing with integration by parts. Okay, so we are using integration by parts method to get the integral of this one. So now our agenda is now to take which function as first function and which function as second function. A general rule which we are going to follow is that ILATE. Okay, what is this ILATE rule? It is not like a basic rule which is mentioned in your NCERT or like this, but most of the questions which we are used to deal with it, if we follow this rule, means we can get the integration or the integral of given question while solving the integration by parts. The simplification become much easier and simpler way. What is this ILATE stands for? I is nothing but inverse trigonometric function. L stands for logarithmic function, and A stands for algebraic function, and T stands for trigonometric function, and E stands for exponential function. So here this ILATE is mentioned based upon its priority. So the first priority is given for inverse trigonometric function, the second priority is given for logarithmic function, third priority is given for algebraic function, fourth priority is given for trigonometric, and the last is exponential function. So whenever we used to consider which one as first function and which one as second function, we are going to follow this ILATE rule. So clearly here we are having x and cos x, both are different function. X is an algebraic function, cos x is an trigonometric function. Which comes first? Algebraic function comes first or trigonometric function comes first? Algebraic function comes first. So I am taking x as the first function, then comes trigonometric. So I am considering cos x as the second function. So this is the first function and this is the second function. For your convenience, in the beginning I am writing the formula of f of x into g of x for our convenience, so that you can understand it very easily, which is this one is first and this one is second, means how we are going to deal with it. First function, integration of the second function, minus integration of differentiation of the first function into integration of the second function into this whole integration of this product. So what was our given question? X cos x dx. First function is x, second function is cos x. So first function as it is, integration of the second, integration of cos x dx minus integration of what is the differentiation of x. Suppose if you feel it difficult, I will write in the beginning differentiation of x into integration of cos x dx to dx. Okay, so I have written this one step as per this formula itself. So how it goes? X integration of cos x. What is the integration of cos? It is sin x minus integration. What is the differentiation of x with respect to x? It is 1. What is the integration of cos? It is sin x dx. Now 1 into sin is sin itself. What is the integration of sin x? Integration of sin is minus cos x, minus into minus, it becomes plus cos x plus c. So this is the integral of the given question. That is the product of integral of a two function, that is x cos x is x sin x plus cos x plus c. Other than the integration by part, you cannot solve or you cannot get the integral of like this type of function rather than integration by parts. You can give a try to get the integral of x cos x leaving integration by parts for yourself, but we are not going to get the integral of this other than integration by parts. But can you observe one thing here? When we used to write or get the integral of cos x, I just written sin x. But we came across that till now, if we are writing the integration of any function, means we used to write integral of that function f of x plus c. But we didn't written here c, either here also. So what happens, why we didn't, what happens if you return that c? We can have or we can give a try over that one. So integration of x cos x dx is equal to, I'll write this step as it is now, integration of x integration of cos x dx minus integration, this one I'll write it directly, 1 into integration of cos x dx into dx. So now let us see what happens if we deal with that integration constant. X into, what is the integration of cos? It is sin x plus c. Okay, sin x plus c minus integration of, here it is differentiation, we got one. What is the integration of cos x? It is again sin x plus c into dx. Now what happens? X sin x plus xc minus, so what is this integration of sin is minus cos x plus, what is the integration of constant? It is cx plus again c. So what happens? X sin x plus xc minus into minus plus cos x minus cx plus c. Here the cx get cancels and finally we are going to get what? X sin x plus cos x plus c. Whatever we are going to get the same answer. That is what the same answer what we have done here. We used to do all the part of this integration, that we have integrated this cos, we have integrated this is a cos x, and we multiplied that one with the differential coefficient of the first function, and then we again integrated that product and we got the integral of that one, and at the final answer we used to put that integration constant. Suppose even if we put the integration constant for each and every step, means it is going to be get cancelled out and we are going to get the same answer as the final one. So this step, that is using that integration constant for each integration, is considered as superfluous, that is it is of no use of adding that into integration constant each and every time. So it is considered as a superfluous, or it is not that useful. So we are following this method itself, that is dealing with all that thing, and finally we are using that integration constant at the last. So this is what I have said here. Why I explained this one is, that is, even this is a proper method. Even if you follow this method also means we are going to get the same answer. So that is what it is not like we are simply writing like this. If you write like this means it is a wrong. It is not an interpretation like this. It is, there is a meaning why we are using like this. So to understand why it is used like this, I have explained even that one also. So here we got the integral of x cos x through the integration by parts. You can try it by yourself for the getting the integral of x sin x dx by yourself. So you can try how you are going to get the answer for x sin x. Now suppose if I ask get the integral of log x dx. So until now we didn't came across what is the integration of log x. We came across integration of 1 by x dx is equal to log x, but we didn't came across what is the integration of log x. So here if I ask what is the integration of log x, here it is not a product of two function, but I can write it as a product of two function like integration of 1 into log x dx. I can write it like this, right? 1 into log x is log x itself. So now 1 into log x, here 1 is a constant function and log x is a logarithmic function. So we are having two function. We can deal with the integration by parts. So to deal with the integration by parts, now we need to consider the first function and second function. What is the rule we are following? Eilert rule. Okay. So according to that rule, I, it is a constant function, it is an algebraic function. Log x, it is a logarithmic function. So in that, which one is the first function here? Here log x is the first function and 1 it is a second function. So for if you feel it difficult, you can write it like this also, log x into 1 dx. So now how it goes? First function, that is log x, as it is, integration of the second function, that is 1 dx, minus integration differentiation of the first function, that is differentiation of the log x into integration of the second function. Okay. So now what happens? Log x as it is, integration of the constant. What happens? Integration of 1 dx, it is x itself, minus integration, differentiation of log. What is the differentiation of log x? It is 1 by x into, what is the integration of 1 dx? It is x into dx. Here again x get cancels. We are left with integration of 1 dx. So what is that? X into log x minus integration of 1 dx is again x plus c. So what is the integral of log x? So the integral of log x dx is x log x minus x plus c. So this is the integration or the integral value of the log x. So we got the integration of log x through the integration by parts. So through integration by parts we got the integral of log x also. So this is how we are using the Eilert rule to check the first and second function, so that our substitution or whatever the formula, as per the formula, it becomes easier and simplified way to get the answer. So this is how this rule is useful. So this is how we are solving the or getting the integral of a given function through the integration by parts method. So for your practice I am going with another example, that is integration of x into e power x. So again it is a product of two function. So x, it is an algebraic function, e power x, it is an exponential function as per Eilert rule, which is the first function. Algebraic function, it comes first. So algebraic is the first function, x is the first function, e power x is the second function. So what is the rule is saying? The rule is saying first function integration of the second function minus integration of differentiation of the first function into integration of the second function. So this is what the rule is saying. So that is equal to x, integration of e power x is e power x itself, minus integration of differentiation of x with respect to x, it is 1, into integration of e power x is e power x itself. So 1 into e power x is e power x itself. So what happens? X into e power x minus integration of e power x is e power x plus c. So this is the integral value of x e power x. So this is how we are using the formula to get the integral value of a given product of two functions. The next is integral of the type integration of e power x into f of x plus f dash of x into dx. So this is one of the important concept, because it is very hard to recognize a question or a function of this type. If a given question is there and we should recognize that given question is in this form, means that is very hard to identify or recognize. So that is very hardest and toughest part in this one. So suppose if there is an integral of this form, that is e power x into f of x plus f dash of x. So what is the integral value we are going to get? We can see here. We can go with the deriving how we are going to get the integral of this one. So what I am doing, integration of e power x into f of x plus f dash of x into dx. So according to the algebra of integrals, what I am doing, I am multiplying this e power x to both the term, as well as integral also integration of e power x into f of x plus integration of e power x into f dash of x dx. Okay. So now what happens? Integration of e power x into f of x plus integration of e power x into f dash of x dx. Now I am considering this one, that is integration of e power x into f of x. So now I am integrating this one. So how to integrate this one? It is a product of two functions. Clearly e power x, it is an exponential function, and f of x is some of the algebraic function. So how it goes? Obviously according to our Eilert rule, exponential function is always at last. So obviously this becomes the second function and this becomes the first function. So what happens? Integration of e power, I am considering only this one, integration of e power x into f of x dx, it is equal to first function integration of the second function minus integration of differentiation of the first function into integration of the second function. So what happens? This one, f of x into integration of e power x is e power x itself, minus integration of differentiation of f of x is f dash of x, integration of e power x is e power x into dx plus c. I am keeping this one as it is. Now substitute this value in this above equation. Suppose if I call this one as star. So now what is the value of this one? The value of that one, the star implies LHS, I follow that one as it is. What is this one? Integration of e power x into f of x, that value is equal to here which we have got, that is f of x into e power x minus integration of f dash of x into e power x into dx plus, I am writing this one at the last, then again this one, integration of e power x into f dash of x into dx plus c. Clearly this one and this one get cancels out. The remaining is integration of e power x into f of x plus f dash of x into dx. This one is equal to e power x into f of x plus c. So this is the formula for the type integration of e power x into f of x plus f dash of x dx is equal to e power x into f of x plus c. So if there is a question of this form, means the first agenda of our thing is we need to identify and recognize the question is in this format. That is the first thing. After recognizing the question is in this format, we need to find out what is that f of x and f dash of x. If you get this f of x and f dash of x, what is that in the given question, means the final answer is directly you can write, that is integration of that one is equal to e power x into f of x. If we know f of x means recognized f of x means writing that value of f of x. So now let us look at the one example of this type so that you will get an idea of how we are going to deal with this type of integral. Here is the first example, which is one of the most easiest so that you can recognize it very easily. Here you can see an integration of e power x into tan x plus 1 divided by 1 plus x. Looking into this itself, you can say that here our f of x is equal to tan x and f dash of x is equal to what? 1 divided by 1 plus x square. Because if I differentiate tan x, we are going to get, sorry guys, it is not tan x, it is tan inverse x. That is, if we differentiate tan inverse of x, the differentiation of tan inverse of x is 1 divided by 1 plus x square. So now clearly this given question, it is in the format of what? E power x into f of x plus f dash of x into dx. If it is in this form, means the value is e power x into f of x plus c. So what is here f of x? F of x is tan inverse of x. So what is the integral of e power x into tan inverse of x plus 1 divided by 1 plus x square dx? That is equal to, we can write it directly because we know the formula, that is, if it is in this form, means it is integral is e power x into f of x. So e power x, what is f of x here? That is tan inverse of x plus c. So you can write it directly. So here is the another question. If this question comes to your examination, means it is one of the beautiful question and it is very hard to identify or recognize it is of this question, or it is of this format. The question is integration of x square plus 1 e power x divided by 1 plus x whole square dx. It is of like this. Okay. So observing this question, it is clear that we cannot deal this question with the substitution method, because we cannot, there is no derivative of any function by looking here itself. So we cannot go this question with the substitution method. The next is trigonometric identities. There is anything, if we substitute, we cannot deal or simplify this one by substituting any trigonometric identities also. After that one, it is not of any particular type of function, so it is also deleted from the list. It is an improper function, so if we deal with that one, along with that we are having again e power x, so we cannot, it is not that easy if we deal with the partial fraction also, and we cannot simplify this one through partial fraction. The next left out is integration by parts, that too the special type of that integration by part, that is of this type. So if I need to say this question is of this type, I need to find out what is f of x and what is f dash of x. To find out that one, see what we are going to do. So that is, I am writing e power x first itself. So x square plus 1. What I am doing here is x square. I am adding and subtracting 1. I am adding 1, subtracting 1. Along with that, already there was plus 1 was there. Plus 1 divided by 1 plus x whole square. So I got like this. Now what I will do is that I will merge x square minus 1 together and 1 plus 1 together. So what happens to this one? That is integration of e power x into x square minus 1 plus 2 divided by 1 plus x whole square into dx. Now I am splitting the numerator. That is what? E power x, it is for both the term also. So how I am going to split is, that is x square minus 1 divided by 1 plus x whole square plus 2 divided by 1 plus x whole square into dx. Now observe here, this one I am doing here. X square minus 1, it is in the form of what? a square minus b square. So x square minus 1 I can write it as what? X plus 1 into x minus 1. In the denominator we are having 1 plus x whole square or x plus 1 whole square. One of the term get cancels, remaining is x minus 1 divided by x plus 1. So what happens here? That is integration of e power x into x minus 1 divided by x plus 1 plus 2 divided by x plus 1 whole square into dx. Now consider, suppose if I consider x minus 1 divided by x plus 1 is equal to f of x. If I differentiate this one, so differentiating this one means obviously using the quotient rule. So what happens? X plus 1 whole square divided by x plus 1, differentiation of the first term. What is the differentiation of this one? It is 1 minus x minus 1, differentiation of the second term, it is 1. So what happens? X plus 1 minus x, minus into minus, plus 1 divided by x plus 1 whole square. Sorry, 1 is there, minus x plus x get cancels, remaining is 1 plus 1, it is 2 divided by x plus 1 whole square. Suppose if I consider this one as our f of x, means we are going to get 2 divided by x plus 1 whole square as f dash of x. So clearly here the f of x is equal to x minus 1 divided by x plus 1 and f dash of x is equal to 2 divided by x plus 1 whole square. So now this given question, it is in the format of integration of e power x into f of x plus f dash of x. Suppose if it is of this form, the integral is e power x into f of x plus c. So what is here f of x? Here f of x is x minus 1. So integral of this one is equal to e power x into f of x. F of x is x minus 1 divided by x plus 1 plus c. So here in this stage, our main agenda is to recognize which is f of x and which is f dash of x. Before that, the recognizing the given question as this is of this format. That is the big thing, because by looking into this question, you cannot at all say that this question is of this format. So the thing is that we need to identify this one, this method, I mean in which type it has been given. So in this integration by parts method, we are dealing with how we are going to solve the question based upon the integration by parts and this type of integral. So the whole exercise 7.6 is based upon solving the question through integration by parts and solving the question of this type of an integral. So you will get thoroughly with the idea of those things. So before I'm starting with the integration by parts exercise, please be thorough with that integration by parts formula, that is integration of f of x into g of x, that is integration of first function into second function is equal to first function integral of the second function minus integration of differentiation of first function into integration of the second function. So be thorough with that formula so that it is going to be used regularly. If you done wrong with the formula, even though the integration differentiation is correct, also means the final answer will be the wrong. So be thorough with that formula. It is very important. So this is regarding the today's class. If you have any doubts with the integration by parts method or in the any of the questions which I solved till now, you can ask me at any time. Thank you, students.